let's meet for the very first time, Justin.
Hello, Justin.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, I'm Lindy.
I'm Miguel.
Miguel, nice to meet you. Deep breath. We got this.
Yeah, for sure.
We got this.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. It's the Married at First Sight edition. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. It's the prom queen herself. It's the one and only Teresa.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? And no prom queens. We don't do that in Czech.
No superlatives.
That's an American tradition. We all are equals.
I like. Well, I was definitely no prom king. I think we did prom queen and prom king. I did not win. We didn't do superlatives, like how they started giving away awards. Like, we do that in the yearbook, and I think we talked about this.
We don't
before.
have we don't have yearbooks in Czech.
Come on, don't.
No.
Where
take a photo.
Where was your topless photo from?
That was on display at the supermarket.
Wasn't that around the time of the prom, though?
It was right before we graduated high school.
Yeah, that's when the prom is, I think.
We have proms every year.
I know. Wait, you go freshman, sophomore, junior, senior proms?
We call it, it's not a prom, we call it, it is a prom, but we go to proms of all high schools around. We basically have a prom season, January, February, March, and we all go to all other high schools' proms.
But what grade is your school's prom?
What do you mean?
So we have junior, senior proms in high school.
We just have proms. But yeah, it's
How old?
when you do the dance, when you have to perform in the wedding dresses, that's in the third year of high school.
Yeah, junior year for us.
Yeah.
So nothing in your fourth year?
Well, we go to the prom.
Whose prom? Someone
The
else's
school-
junior prom?
The school's prom.
I know.
We all go, the whole high school go to the prom every year.
Really?
Yes, but then only the third year of high school performs the dance wearing the fucking wedding dresses. I hate it.
Well, duh. Obviously, only the third year performs. Okay, so it's not prom. Then it's just a school dance that everyone goes to.
Yeah, but you call it's the prom for us. But then
You go your first year. The first year you're at that school, you go.
Yeah, I go.
See,
I go
we
dance
don't.
and drink. Second year, I go dance and drink. Third year, I go dance, drink, and perform.
Right.
But only you have to sign up for it. Not everyone performs. I signed up. I had to take dancing lessons for 6 freaking months.
Is it traditional Czech dancing?
No.
Oh, what kind of dancing is it?
Like ball dancing.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like kind of like dating someone at the time, but he was in different high school. So I asked my friend who was a year older.
Yeah.
I'm like, because we were riding the bus together. I'm like, can you like do this with me?
You have to have a partner.
You have to have a partner, mostly from, the third year of high school,
Sure.
but there was no one for me. And so I asked my friend who was older, and all the girls like, oh my gosh, I'm like, yeah, we're friends. Like, you take it easy.
I went to someone's senior prom when I was a junior. I leveled up. A senior asked me to go to her prom with her.
Look at that.
And then my senior prom, I just went with a friend of mine. But
Yeah, my friend leveled down, but yeah, we were friends. He just did the dancing with me. He did it the previous year for his year.
Where and when do you take the dance classes? Is it part of school or do you have to go after hours?
The proms take place in February.
No. The dancing part. Because you have to learn the dance.
You go from like October till February, once a week after school.
After school.
Yeah, for freaking 3 hours once a week. It was ridiculous.
All right. Well, this prom wasn't that serious. This was fun. I liked it. I liked the idea. It's a theme party.
Yeah, it is.
The more I watch these shows, the more into theme parties I'm becoming. I'm like, we should throw a theme party.
Yeah, if we have friends.
If we had friends, we could throw a theme party. But that's what this episode was. This was a prom event. It was the couple's retreat / prom for Lindy. It was there's always the couple, and sometimes it's the prom queen and prom king, but there's always that one couple at the prom that fights. They didn't fight at the prom, but
Really? People fight at the prom?
Oh, Teresa.
Why do you fight at the prom?
Why don't you fight at the prom? You're dancing with the wrong person. You get too drunk. Who knows? I don't want to say. I don't want to get anyone in trouble over here.
I always went to the prom got drunk and then was trying to drink with the teachers who were teaching math and science because I sucked. So I was always like, I'm buying shots. And we were drinking and then we were promising me all good grades.
Were you legally allowed to drink? Were you 18?
For
Close enough.
For the third year, I was almost 18. The fourth year, I was 18.
Where is the prom held in your town?
Well,
Is it at your school? Is it at a venue?
it's at a venue. I didn't go to a high school in my town.
Right.
My town, Břeclav, has about 9 high schools or more.
Really?
I told you,
Oh, it's got like the
specialty high schools. Yes.
the sports high school, the
Industrial high school,
industrial-
economy high school,
Yes.
then the preppy high school that I went to. That basically, if you get out of that high school, you have the overall knowledge and you need to go to college. Otherwise, you know nothing.
Okay.
And you have cooking high school, then you have
Anyways.
hairdresser high school,
Got it.
all kinds of high school. But I was just talking to someone about this. Isn't it great? Because if you, let's say you're not a studious type, you don't want to go to college, but
Yeah.
you love doing makeup, you love
Yeah.
playing with hair. Your dad is an auto mechanic, you know a lot. You can just go to high school, get an education that's specific to this one field, and then after high school, you can find a job.
Yeah, we have that too.
Well, you have trade
we have trade schools,
but
technical
that's
schools.
Additional, you have to pay
No,
for it.
you didn't know. You could go straight to a technical school. You can go to a trade school for high school.
After middle school, you can go to
Yes.
trade school.
Yes.
Really?
Technical school, I believe they call it. I don't know. Anyways, we're not here to talk about school. We're here to talk about Married at First Sight.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Okay? We're here to talk about season 15, episode 14. But before we do, a little housekeeping. A couple things we got to ask. Follow us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod.
Yes.
It's a good time over there. We post some memes. We post news. We let you guys know what's going on. And probably the most fun of all, you message with us. We talk to you guys.
Yes, we talk to you guys. We talk to us. We love all the messages. We got some great ones. Thank you guys. I laughed. It was beautiful.
Okay, you'll have to share those with me because sometimes Teresa keeps them to herself. Oh, I know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
yeah.
I know, Joe. Okay, we'll address that on a separate podcast.
Yes.
Teresa. That's at Married to Reality Pod on Instagram. Also, if you were following us on Instagram, maybe you would see that Patreon is now subscription billing.
Yes.
I believe is what they call it. And what that means is I flipped the switch. So don't assume that all of your Patreons that you guys are members of are doing this. You got to enact it. I enabled it. I flipped the switch, which means there is no bad time to sign up for Patreon because here's how it works now. You join. Whenever it is you join, you pay. And then from there on out, your renewal is that day.
Yes.
Each and every month after that. So if you signed up on the 7th of October, you renew on November 7th and then December 7th and so forth and so on. It's no longer the first of the month is the renewal. So it's always a good time to sign up for Patreon. Patreon.com/married to reality. We got the single life happening over there, which is quite the season, Teresa.
Quite the season.
Quite the season. We've got Love is Blind After the Altar up there.
Quite an update.
Quite an update. We have a bonus pod dropping very shortly for this month for our family affair friends. So all sorts of things. Maybe we will post a photo of Teresa at her prom on the Patreon. Who knows? Who knows what's going to end up there? It's always a good time.
We might celebrate Halloween.
We might celebrate Halloween. We might be in costume, speaking of theme parties.
Yeah.
So patreon.com/married to reality. Never a bad time to sign up now. Also, make sure you're following the podcast, the one you're listening to right now, wherever you're listening to it right now. It's so easy to follow. You look down, you smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hard as the sunset that people saw from the rental house.
Very specific.
You should have formed that sentence
That was
better.
very specific.
I just wrote down the sunset, but I wanted to specify.
Yes, I knew what you were talking about. Beautiful.
That house, it was like on a freaking cliff. I first wrote down as hard as the house, but we didn't see a lot of the house on the inside.
That's such a good point. We saw the kitchen, and then we saw a lot of the outdoors.
Yeah, so and
Well,
I
we
saw
saw a bedroom or two.
and then I saw the sunset. I'm like, ooh,
You should have said, well, you shouldn't have said because it was more dirty than hot, but
very dirty.
it was a very dirty episode. But that sex swing that we saw inside the bedroom, strong doorways in that.
You should see my Amazon cart.
Oh boy, here we go. Smash it like it's as hot as Theresa's Amazon cart. And last but not least, if you haven't left a review, please. We love when you guys leave reviews. We read the 5-star reviews on the 90-day podcast Monday nights. So please, if you haven't left one, please do. And if you have left one, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, let's do it. Let's get into this episode. And I think we just have to pick up almost where we left off, because who can forget Poolgate? Who can forget the Kristen and Mitch debacle?
Okay. Why do they call it the Poolgate? What does it even mean?
All right. Well, this is how long do you have? Because this goes way back.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I'm assuming you're confused by the gate part. Okay. Have you ever heard of Watergate?
No.
You've never heard of the Watergate scandal?
No.
You might want to correct that answer, although you're not American, so you don't have. It was a big political scandal.
When?
Decades ago.
Well.
With Richard Nixon.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't know that. I'm sorry,
Watergate
guys.
was a big scandal.
Okay.
And so then very recently, I would say within the last 10 to 20 years, at least, I mean, that's when I became conscious of these sort of things that could have been going on ever since. But whenever there was a debacle, people always added gate to the end of it. So the first one I can think of is the Patriots football. There was a whole issue with, they were deflating footballs, so it was easier to catch, and they called it Deflategate.
Oh.
Okay, and so anytime there's an issue, if you had a debacle at promgate.
Oh.
Okay? So this whole thing with Kristen getting upset that Mitch talked to her sister, this all happened at the Poolgate.
I thought it was like Poolgate because you enter something with the gate and that's when the problem became real.
No. Although pool gates are tricky. Like you never, especially if you have to reach over and unlatch it, it's always tricky to get in to a pool gate. That would be Poolgate gate, actually. But that's why this was called Poolgate.
Okay.
It got a little awkward during that confrontation, but it seems things have been smoothed over, at least, or they're trying to smooth them over on the ride up to the couple's retreat.
Yeah, and Kristen apologized to Mitch saying, I'm sorry for snapping, but it was so fresh that I just was so upset. And he accepts her apology, and we kind of see the next video of them fighting after.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would assume they would be fighting, but there was nothing too as bad as like Justin and Alexis.
No, it wasn't that bad. But I don't know how I feel about this, because Mitch accepts the apology and he's like, I accept the apology. Thank you. I just felt attacked. I felt thrown under the bus because you were calling me out for things I never said. He totally said those things.
Oh, yeah, he said those things.
Everyone heard him say those things. We heard him say those things. The other couples heard him say those things. And he's like, you called me out for things I didn't say. And Kristen is continuing to apologize. At some point, I appreciate her stick-to-itiveness and trying to get through these 8 weeks and have a smile on it and try her best. But at some point, she needs to stop apologizing and just be like, you know what? No, and stand up for herself.
I think she does stand up for herself. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think they'll stay together?
No!
You think she'll say no?
Oh, you mean on decision?
decision?
Oh, that's a tricky one. I'll say yes on decision day, but I thought you meant like in for eternity.
Okay. For some reason, I think if they can figure out a way to meet in the middle, Mitch can be less of an asshole, and she doesn't do anything wrong, to be honest.
Here's how
I think they could make it work.
Here's how I look at everyone on this show, and I could be completely wrong, but I look at people and I go, they're on their best behavior. There's cameras here. Now, we could look at it the other way and go, they're anxious, they're stressed because there's cameras here. But I'm going to look at Mitch and go, he's on his best behavior because there's cameras here.
I don't think he is. I think he's being himself.
I think he's being himself, but imagine how much more of himself he'd be if there weren't cameras there. He even said, I'm not going to make a big stink of the fact that we use toilet paper and paper towel because this is not a forever home. He's going to get way more intense after D-Day, after they move into a place. You think he's just going to all of a sudden start cleaning up after himself? No,
but that's what I'm saying. They can make it work if they both, mostly Mitch, adjust
Yeah, but I don't think he
Yeah, that's a good
can
point.
or will. I mean, his belief system is so ingrained, is so a part of who he is that he can't be flexible at all.
All right, so if you're such an environmentalist, which he is, so it's okay to break the rules for 2 months to be on TV. That's not being an environmentalist. That's,
No, I think it's
that's
okay.
being a phony.
No, I think that's okay. I'm sure he's doing all he can, but he made it clear he's going to really do all he can and potentially make Kristen do all she can after the 8 weeks.
I saw a study about cleaning cloths and how many bacteria are on them because
That's why I don't like
You would-
sponges.
well, we change our sponges all the time. Which
Once a
hate it.
week.
Huh?
Once a week.
And how often do we use the sponge? Because
Every
we put
night.
we put everything in the dishwasher.
We sponge it off first. a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah. But that's the thing. We don't go and wash things with a sponge. We sponge it off.
That sponge is dirty. The sponge
No,
is
it's
dirty.
not. It's not.
All right.
We put it in the dishwasher too to wash it.
Sponges terrify me.
Yeah, but the sponge is fine. You know, some people you change the sponge every 3 months.
That's disgusting.
It is
Some people
disgusting.
change their bed sheets once every 10 years.
Ew.
I know. People
But
are nasty.
People are nasty, but what I'm saying is like cleaning cloths. If you I clean the kitchen twice a day, right? If I use a cleaning cloth, after one cleaning, after you eat or cook, it's dirty. If you
Yeah.
keep cleaning with the same cloth without fully washing it, it's disgusting. I want to see Mitch fully washing a cloth,
No, I would
like
say
after every use.
I would say some people who live that lifestyle would wash it, but as I'm saying this, I'm thinking, well, that's probably worse for the environment to be running your washer and
Yeah.
dryer every night.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough life to live, but
It is. I mean, don't
Good for
hate
him.
me, but
Good
I
for him
love
for trying.
paper towels.
yeah, I like paper towels and straws. All right, let's get to the house because everyone arrives. We're there. They're there. Kristen tells everyone, hey, we smoothed things over on the car ride. Mitch actually said some very validating things to me. So once again, I'm in the palm of his hand.
For now, but let's get ready for the prom.
Yeah, they start, they decorate, they dress.
And it seemed like this whole was Miguel's idea, that Miguel planned it for Lindy because she's never had a prom.
Right. Her upbringing, there was no dancing.
No.
You had to make room for Jesus. So there was no dancing and therefore no prom. And now this is Miguel's big romantic gesture to give her prom
He
for the
bought
first
her
time.
a dress, the whole thing.
Yeah, I think it was a sweet gesture.
I think Miguel finds Lindy cute. She's like a cute little girl. I think
he's playing into it.
That's a big magic, but she's crazy. And I think that's what's getting to him. But
That's such an interesting point. Although I guess prom, you can do prom in a mature way, but you're right. They're reverting back to high school
yeah.
for this celebration.
But it's the thing, if you take it as Kristen and Alex, you just have fun with it, that's one thing. But if you
Yeah.
take it so seriously as Lindy in a way and try to pause for photos and get annoyed.
Oh, we're going to get into it then.
Oh yeah.
Because
oh,
I don't,
yeah.
I'm just going to come out and say it right now. I'm pretty Team Lindy this episode. Pretty Team Lindy.
Well, I'm not fully because it's the way she talks, it's her tone.
Okay.
It's her tone.
All right.
And also, you know why? Why don't you take pictures together?
Okay.
Why
All
is
right.
it just pictures of her with the dress, pictures of her with the sunset? Why isn't it like, hey babe, let's take a photo?
Okay. Let's wait to get there. First, we got to talk about Alexis and Justin because, ladies and gentlemen, we have consummation.
He finally banged her.
I was literally watching, and tell me if you felt the same way. I was literally watching this episode going, Justin, he looks different. What looks different? Well, did he get a haircut?
He
What?
did, I think.
Or was it just that post-sex glow? Literally, I put this episode on and go, he looks different. He looks better. He looks fresher.
Yeah.
He looks happier.
I also think he is being a little less emotional in the past couple of
As
episodes.
soon as he dropped that load off, he was immediately less emotional.
I have to say this. I think Alexis is one of the prettiest girls that's ever been on this show.
Yeah.
Because no matter what she does or what she wears, and she wears some wild outfits, she just looks really good.
She glows. There's
She
something.
does. And
Yeah.
this bright orange and the shoes and the hairpiece. I'm like, I could never pull it off, but she looks so good.
Let me see that Amazon cart.
She looks she's so pretty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I honestly never thought Justin was very attractive. But this episode, I go, he's looking better. And I think it's because he finally lost his celibacy.
No, he's still he needs more confidence, but
I think this helped. Maybe. He's apparently been celibate for a year and a half and no longer. He finally made it happen. They made love all night, he says.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I will get there. I'm pretty sure Alexis was half asleep.
Oh, my gosh. Don't say that.
Yeah.
Classic prom. Just kidding, guys. I'm kidding. Okay, I'm kidding.
I was going to ask you something and just totally slipped my mind. Yeah, let's keep going.
Anyways, I'm kind of surprised Alexis went for it because I really didn't think she was into Justin.
But I've seen on social media people saying that Alexis is being rude and mean to Justin, and I don't think she fully is, but she does make hurtful comments that I don't know if she realizes it, but when she says things like, oh yeah, it's been a year and a half because he was putting her shoes on and he couldn't hook it.
Oh, right.
And she's like, yeah, you don't really do this for women, right? Well, based on how you couldn't unhook the bra last night. And might sound funny, but if you think about it, that's like she's stopping him.
Yeah.
And she makes these tiny comments, and I think that's what people are calling her out on. Because if you think about it, truly think about it, it's hurtful.
I suppose. I always go back to intent. And I know you can't because things can hurt no matter what the intent was. But when judging a person, I want to judge them on their intent. And so if she was just trying to joke around to be lighthearted and we just banged and I can make little jokes, that doesn't bother me. But yes, if she was trying to emasculate him or hurt his feelings, then sure, that's wrong.
But that's the thing. If they had a nice and healthy relationship and she said this, I would be like, she's so funny. Right?
Good point.
But because the relationship is not, and she keeps saying that she wants to be dominated, she wants him to step up, and then she makes a comment like
Good
this.
Point. Right. Once he finally does, he's trying to. He's doing what you say, and now you're going to critique his effort. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's get to it. Lindy and Miguel. This is a segment I call when selfies go wrong.
Well, yeah, but we don't see, we just hear it. And Lindy is basically asking Miguel to take photos of her and not the selfie, take the good quality one and do this and do that. And he said it before. He's like, yeah, I've been tired from work and all that. I honestly, if someone used that tone on me, and I can't even say you because I can imagine you doing this. But if I have a friend, right, and I'm all tired getting ready for something, trying to relax just a little bit, and she's like, hey, take a photo of me, and not that, not the selfie, I would be like, oh my fucking God, you take it yourself. I would probably snap too.
See, I didn't think it was that bad. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it was a long day and I wasn't picking up on her tone, but it wasn't that abrasive to me. There was no yelling there. It was a little whiny. It was definitely whiny.
I think he was just annoyed. I guess you're in your room trying to get ready. You're a little tired. You'll take photos outside and all that. And the fact that she just wants him to take a photo of her. Why don't you take a nice photo together? Take one photo of her. Let's move on. You hate when I go hard on selfies because I don't love the way I look, and we'll say we enjoy a glass of wine. I'm like, one more. You're like, come on. And I get it. I'm gonna stop because A, I see your point. B, I don't want to keep bothering you while we're enjoying a nice moment. So this is the same thing.
What did the glass of wine have to do with anything?
Well, we went out recently and I'm like, oh, beautiful sunset. I was trying to take some selfies.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this looks nice. And I'm like, I don't like the way I look. Let's take more. You're like, and I could tell that you don't want to.
What was the wine thing though, you said?
Well, we're drinking wine.
Oh, okay. No, and it's a good point. And that was what I was going to say about Miguel. I think a lot of this comes down to the fact that I'm going to generalize for all men because I can. We don't like taking photos. And we don't love when you guys are so into taking photos. It's fine to take one or two photos. Let's capture the moment. But when it becomes all about the photo, it's less about what we're actually doing, less about the experience and more about let's take this photo, let's put it on social media, let's show what we're doing. And I think that's what was setting Miguel off more than anything, was like, enough with the photos. Let's enjoy the moment.
Exactly. And you just took Miguel's side. You said you're all for Linda, but you just took Miguel's side entirely.
No, I'm going to continue.
Yes.
I don't think I was
He
taking.
did, because I'm pretty sure he took a photo of her, one or two, and she's no, bad angle, not the selfie. No, take the good quality. No, let's do it over.
I know, but I don't
you
think.
would hate it.
But I don't think she was doing anything wrong, is my point. I'm just saying, as a guy, we don't want to take photos, so that's just a guy thing. I don't think Lindy was that wrong to be like, take my photo. I don't think it's wrong to have your photo taken.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's her tone. And if you listen, like, she was being, oh my gosh, like, no, don't do this, do that. Telling him how not to do something, how to do something, and keep going hard on it. Like, it gets annoying. If he's like, hey, can you take a photo of me? And one here, one there, one selfie. Let's go outside and have fun, and we'll take more with the group.
Yeah.
100% fine. I do that too. We do that, right? But if I kept going hard, like, no, I don't like it, bad angle, do this, oh, close to the window, come over here, you would be like, come on.
It's funny because I think one of our first and only arguments was based on this exact thing. We were in Maine and we were taking photos, and I remember you wanted to keep taking photos, and I think we got into like a little argument. I was like, no, enough. I was like, enough is enough with the photos.
I don't remember.
I think so. Maybe I'm wrong, but I remember the photo that came out of it. It was a nice photo, and that's why I was like, what's wrong with this photo? Like,
was
no.
it the one when your shirt was see-through a little bit?
No, it was the one I think you just sent my mom actually recently.
I just sent your mom a picture of a seal.
No, like a couple days ago when we were in
that's the one that your shirt was a little see-through.
Was? I thought I was wearing a button down. No.
That's from our first trip.
Yeah, and I feel like that trip we got into a little argument because you wanted to keep taking selfies everywhere we went. Oh, we're on this cliff. Oh, we're on this beach. Oh, and I was like, enough with the photos. Let's just enjoy being here. And you're like, well, I want to capture the memories. I want to remember this. And that's what I'm saying. You're not wrong. You should be allowed to do that.
I mean, it's been a while. I don't remember, but we've been dating for like 7 months at a time. I was like, okay, I don't know how long this is going to last.
Let's get some photos to remember it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to take photos every hour. You did, if you did. And that's fine. I'm allowed to feel the way I want to feel, and you're allowed to take photos if you want. So
we have like 3 photos together out of that trip. So
yeah, I put my foot down.
No.
I made you put your phone down.
I think it was with someone else before me.
No, I remember it was you. But anyways, all right. Let's talk about prom night. You want to do a little best dressed, worst dressed?
Yes. Best dressed, Alexis.
Oh, just right off the bat. Okay.
Yes.
Alexis. And I'm going to go Miguel for the men.
I'm going to go with Nate.
Nah, I didn't like the Nate vibe. I feel like he does that look a lot.
All right. And worst dressed.
Here we go.
Stasha,
her dress was like candy paint. I don't know what that was.
Her dress, she bought it at Halloween Express.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I think she was trying to be...
It was like an Austin Powers girl or something.
No, like that. There is like a girl that she's an ice queen, and there is one that's not an ice queen. It's a Disney thing. All the kids love it.
Frozen? Oh. I'm going to say Stasha tied, though, with Lindy, because that was like heavy sequence.
Lindy's dress, I like the dress. I just don't think it fit her.
Too much sequence for me. That's what I'm going to say.
It was very sequenced, but I feel like when you look at a dress, it has to fit your body and your head and everything, right?
Yeah.
There are dresses that I love online, and if I buy them, they come home and I'm like, I look ridiculous.
Sure.
It just doesn't fit me.
Sure.
And I think that dress didn't fit her because she didn't buy it.
Miguel did.
Yeah. So I just think that the dress was fine and would look much better on someone else.
Yeah. Okay. So then everyone's dancing, and Miguel and Lindy, they're doing their dance, and they're talking about the fight that they had because of the picture taking.
Yeah.
If this was Below Deck, I would have a name for this. How we do our boat name this segment. I thought this was the end of the relationship because of this issue. Photo finished.
Nice.
Teresa.
Nice.
Photo finished.
That's nice.
Okay. But Miguel,
He's still pissed.
drink every time Miguel says gaslight.
Oh,
This
yeah.
episode.
I mean, listen, Lindy really wanted them to run into an argument before decision day because it was so perfect. Here you go, girlfriend.
Except I don't think Lindy is freaking out that much. Miguel is the one who I'm going, they're dancing, they're talking, and he's like, oh, don't ever talk to me like that. Don't give me that tone. Don't you talk to me like. And I'm like,
she yells. It's like she has a bad tone and she doesn't know it's true. And she admits it later. I don't know if she's joking. She doesn't know how to read the room.
I feel like her tone is whiny. To me, that's like enough. Be quiet.
But it's whiny, but it's annoying. And she is very negative.
Sure, but.
And it's just, I'm not saying that Miguel was right to say that, but I would also get annoyed by someone who's like constantly whining and complaining and saying they're crazy and the more crazy is gonna come out and blah blah blah.
And maybe that's what it is she kept threatening this crazy. I thought she was gonna reach a point where her head spun around in circles and she was screaming at the top of her lungs. And so the fact that she's just being a little whiny about taking the photos, maybe she like desensitized me because I was expecting this huge explosion. And it was just
she keeps
whine.
apologizing. She's like, I misled the situation. I was feeling pretty and wanted pics of myself. And Miguel's like, yeah. And I think this is where you see like he gets annoyed, tells her, she apologizes. Then she gets annoyed, he walks away, he goes after her, apologizes.
Yeah.
Then like I think they both are like knowing that they did something wrong. But also the other person did something wrong, that they both are at fault.
Yeah.
And they keep going after each other, apologizing. But she is very whiny and she is very dramatic. And they all think it. Not just Miguel.
Oh, no.
Everyone thinks she's very dramatic. And so and she is.
Speaking of everyone thinking things about other people, let's do the superlatives.
The prom awards.
This was like a bad version of the Dundies. This was like the Dumdies.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, Kristen's like wild. Kristen's just out of control.
This episode.
I almost feel like, you know, when how to explain it? Like when you care about something or someone like so bad, you're trying so hard, and it gets to the point that you're like, fuck, there's nothing I can do about this. Let me just have fun with it. And you kind of get over the fact and you just relax and you're like, fuck it. Like, I literally don't care if it goes left or right. And that's Kristen.
She's done worrying about how she comes across.
Yes.
She's like, oh, my husband doesn't find me attractive anyway. All right, let me put on his hat and his clothes and make a fool of myself. Because I'm not trying to be attractive anymore. I'm just trying to have fun.
Yeah, and even like what she says, like, she's like, who cares? Like, he said so many bad things. So let's just talk about it. So Kristen and Alexis are the hosts, right? And we have 10 categories.
Oh, boy.
We have first, life of a party. It's
Oh boy, we're not gonna do this for everyone.
It's Alexis.
My husband said I can't go out anymore, so I'm gonna have to retire that title. But for now, life of the party.
Best dancer. Kristen thought it was her. I thought it was her too.
Cut to all her. I love the montage of her moves.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, she was having fun with it without taking it seriously.
Yes, but she was not the winner. Second place.
It's Nate.
Nate.
Nate's the winner. I think he's like a smooth dancer.
Yeah. Then no surprise here. Biggest drama queen.
Biggest drama queen. It's classic Lindy.
Most emotional.
No surprise.
And
here.
I love the prefacing that went along with it, which is like, and when we say most emotional, we just mean like being very in touch with how you feel, and just it's really good. And so, no question about it, Justin.
It's Justin. Then we have most likely to save the planet.
Now we're just making up categories so that everyone gets an award.
Yes, but I feel like they just needed to come up with something kind of nice, because the next one is the class clown. But that wasn't like a nice award. That was like...
Wait, who got class clown?
Mitch. But there was a montage of him just being annoyed and shutting people down, shutting ideas down.
He got most likely to save the planet.
And then they said, and the next one also goes to Mitch and is the class clown.
Got it. Then we get some real awards here.
Best all around.
Best all around. This is
Stasha. Because she's mature and nice.
I don't know, why are we giving this out? Are we just trying to create a division?
What else do you want to give
people?
her? The the most,
Yeah,
that has
most
the most
affluent,
money.
most wealth. Yeah. Biggest bank account.
Yeah. Okay, the
I don't know,
biggest-
most driven, hardest working. I don't know, but like
Yeah, but
best
she's-
all around. I would be like, what the fuck? What about? You're just shitting on the rest of us.
I just feel like everyone likes it. Like no one has anything bad to say
I know,
about Stasha.
best all around is subjective. The
How?
You decide. There's no like meter of is she the best all around or isn't. If you said, oh, hardest working, you would go, okay, well, she's got multiple jobs. She gets up really early. Like,
Yeah.
That's pretty objective. Most likely to save the planet, pretty objective. Most emotional, pretty objective. Best all around is just like, all right, we're going
She's just the best.
to, okay.
But that's Stasha, right?
Yeah.
Then we get the biggest gossip.
It's,
No surprise here. No
sometimes
surprise.
that ruins marriages.
It's Alexis, and Nate is like, well, that one's accurate. She caused Vince and Morgan's divorce.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Most likely to stay married.
Kristen and Mitch. Psych.
It's Miguel and Lindy. Although.
CBD.
And the last one, most likely to end up with multiple divorces,
Oh boy.
came with a wild speech, and it is Kristen herself.
She
And
voted for herself.
She's like, I voted for her. She's like, I would be pissed if anyone else got it. And Mitch is like, what?
Yeah.
Which-
I don't like that energy. I like the dance like nobody's watching.
Yeah.
That's cool. But putting that out there is
Yeah.
basically saying, I don't respect
I
this.
just feel like if she said, and most likely to end up with multiple divorces, all right, it's me. But do you leave it at that? People probably
Right.
voted for you. Okay,
Right.
oops. What are you gonna do? Right?
Right. To be like, I voted for myself. If anyone
Yeah.
else got it, it's like, whoa, then do you not value what you have right now if you're
Yeah.
just thinking about your next divorce?
Yeah. And then we have the prom and the queen. I mean, the king and the queen.
Yes.
Prom, king and the queen. Surprise, surprise. It's
Lindy and
Miguel and
Miguel.
Lindy.
Yeah. All right. Then a little after prom party. A little, this is what happens at most after prom parties here. Stay in Nasha. What are we doing? What are we doing, Teresa? Is that a power
Stop
couple?
drinking that black tea.
Oh my gosh. Stasha and Nate buzzed into Lindy and Miguel's room with a sex swing. You can tell I'm getting uncomfortable. I'm sweating a little bit. These two are the new sexperts. They were so hypersexualized this episode.
Which brings me to this. I feel like when someone's at the beginning very overly sexual, it means that you're feeling that because you're lacking other connections. So you're feeling it with sex. You're attracted to each other. That's great. But you don't connect on other levels. You don't connect on, oh, like I love hanging out with you. Oh, I love just cuddling, watching TV. You're like,
We
there
can
is something
bang.
missing, but we can bang.
Yeah. Yeah. It's filling a void that would otherwise be filled with conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's an interesting assessment.
I have a friend, you know her well, you met her. And then she had a boyfriend for like 6 months, but she thought it was like the most serious relationship. She was looking at houses in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
But they were, from what she told me, they were just banging all the time, all kinds of different things. She got like a vagina.
details.
She got like a vagina infection from
Oh,
him.
less details.
Yeah, because that's all they did. And then eventually he broke up with her because she was too dramatic.
She had a
he
vagina infection.
well, that was from him. But the reason why he told her was because he's like, there is nothing else besides the sex. Like, I like you, but there is nothing else that connects me to you. That's why we just had the mad amount of sex, doing all kinds of things. For her, she was in love. She was hearing the wedding bells. She was looking at houses in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
But that was the outcome.
I wish I knew who you were talking about.
She's a little crazy.
Oh, I know.
She
who you're
cannot
talking-
stop talking.
I know who you're talking about. She's from your homeland.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So then Lindy and Miguel give this swing a little spin. And can you use someone else's sex swing? I feel like that's sacrilegious. You probably shouldn't.
I think you can wash it.
Probably shouldn't share sex.
Maybe you can
swings.
wash it.
When Nate was in
I
it,
don't
it
know.
looked like Cirque du Soleil. I was like, all right.
But yeah, he's demonstrating, and Lindsay's trying, and it gets very sexual because they're like dry humping each other.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Anyways.
Oh well.
Anyways, I think this is probably the place to take a break.
Let's do it.
Let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about couple dates.
Yes.
All right. We'll be back in a second. And we're back.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Teresa. How
How's
are
it
you?
going?
Good. I saw what was in that Amazon cart, and I am scared and excited at the same time. Absolutely prime that.
All right.
Absolutely.
Our anniversary is coming
Absolutely prime that. Yes. Patreon.com/married to Okay.
All right.
You should see Theresa's face. She looks terrified.
All right. Well, okay. It's the next morning, 9 days until D-Day.
Yeah. What's
Right.
D-Day? What's that stand for? What are you saying over there? D-Day.
Dig Day.
Hey!
Decision Day, guys. Decision Day, of course.
Decision Day?
Decision Day.
We're
All
having
right.
fun here.
So, Justin prepared something nice for Alexis.
Yeah, let's do a little couples date with Justin and Alexis over
Yeah,
here.
so he takes her to the winery, and it's California. Looks beautiful. Looks fabulous.
And they get a bottle and they say, "Oh, we should open this on our 1 year anniversary," and that's a good sign. That's
Yeah.
that's
wait
the
for it.
way you want to look toward the future. Unlike Kristen, who says most likely to be divorced multiple
Didn't
times.
they name the rosé like Justin and Alexis rosé or something like that? I thought it was on the menu.
Isn't there a Justin? Oh no, there's a Josh. Josh wine is everywhere.
Yeah, so your mom loves that wine. Remember we were drinking it the night before our wedding, before our rehearsal dinner?
Yes,
we were like looking at all the wines that your mom left, because the night before our rehearsal dinner, before we went to our venue, we stayed at this Airbnb that John's sister was staying in after, and your mom left a lot of wine there.
Well, just to paint the picture, we had our wedding. It was at a venue. It was catered and everything. But the night before, we were doing welcome drinks.
Yeah.
And we were catering that ourselves.
Yes.
So my mom went to Costco and bought cases
Yes.
of alcohol and cases of wine. And she bought a
Josh.
ton of bottles of Josh. And I remember showing up to the house and seeing like 20 bottles of Josh. And I was like, that's really bold. Because how does she know that like your ex-boyfriend wasn't Josh? And it's the night before our wedding and there's 20 bottles of Josh. Like they could have gone.
Yeah, no, there was no Josh. I don't even know Josh. Do you know Josh?
I know a Josh.
Oh, I know Josh too.
Yeah, we know the same Josh.
Well, we know the same Josh that we met after.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, there's no Justin that I know. There's a Josh. So they're hanging. Everyone's having a good time. Alexis thinks Justin's more relaxed now that he's banged.
And like she's so happy. She's like, I can see your energy changed and with the sexy time and you're more relaxed. And Justin's like, I don't think my energy changed. Sex is not important. Sex is not everything for me. I was celibate, blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, she's like saying that things are going well. Why do you have to spoil it?
Yeah, and whether you're celibate or not, sex is going to change things, usually for the better, I would say, if you're in a relationship and you're going to feel closer and you're going to feel more comfortable with each other and feel like, okay, we've done that. So that's out of the awkward phase because we've done the deed. So for him to be like, no, my energy's the same. It's like, well, that's not true. It wouldn't be the same for anyone.
Yeah, and then he says something in a way that, well, everything is so expedited during this process, so who knows what's gonna happen in the future. It's like,
I know.
Why do you have to spoil the moment when she's finally getting on the board with you and all this drama? You're chilling, you banged. Why does he have to say things like that?
Yeah, I had a really hard time following his train of thought and his actions in this segment.
You know what makes me feel like he's gonna say no and he knows it.
You think so?
Why else would you say things like that? He's like, yeah, I haven't given it my all. It's like,
I mean,
you have not given it your all. Like, this is the time to give it your all to show if you want this to last.
It could be a defense mechanism. Now he is so emotional. Now he's had sex. Now he's probably even more emotional. He's even more in love. And so he wants to protect himself just in case she wasn't satisfied or she's going to say no. Now or maybe Alexis is right and maybe it wasn't all fireworks in the bedroom and he's awkward and feels uncomfortable now because he
Maybe.
knows he didn't perform. And so now he's a little aloof.
I think he's so tall that he cannot really perform that
It's
well.
impossible for him to perform.
Yeah, I think he's just so tall. He's probably falling off the bed. Like, how would he even do that?
Yeah, there's no position where you would align properly, I would imagine. Because he's so...
Yeah.
I mean, there's positions, don't get me wrong. But you rip half the Kama Sutra and throw it away because it's just not going to work. But yeah, he was just being weird.
Yeah.
I
Well, let's
understand.
talk about someone who actually had a great time.
Okay.
Let's talk about Mitch and Kristen.
Okay, I mean, they were
Doing
doing
archery.
Yeah, I'm in the backyard.
Fun.
I'm in the backyard.
So,
This is what I did in ninth grade gym class. Speaking of prom, I did this very same archery.
I used to love medieval festivals, and this is where you can do archery in Czech.
Oh. With actual arrows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we did it in gym class. We didn't write.
In the gym class.
Yeah, in high school. We didn't write words on paper and then shoot at them.
I would love to do archery. I used to have I used to make my own, but it didn't work.
What do you mean?
I
With
tried.
like a stick and string?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
We
was
all-
a very
we all tried
creative
that.
child. We all tried, exactly.
They were surprisingly good at
Yeah.
archery.
But you're so... Okay,
No, they weren't that close.
if your target is that big,
Oh, Teresa. Now I want to take you to the range.
let's do it. I want to.
It's not even how far away it is. Some people pull back the quiver,
Yeah.
let it go, and it just flops out.
I would love to go. I haven't done it in like 15 years. Last time I was like a child. More than 15.
All right. We can look into it.
I would love that.
All right. So they're shooting some arrows, and the whole idea here is let's write down words on paper,
Buzzwords.
buzzwords, things we want to. I would write gaslight down. That's what I would write. And let's shoot arrows at them. Things we want to get rid of, things we want to move on from.
I would write down John's gas because that's something I want to do.
Whoa! I think I keep it to myself. Teresa, how dare you? So Kristen writes down attraction. And she says, I think I've gotten clarity on how you feel about attraction because you've vocalized it. And let's get rid of that.
Yeah.
Let's put that behind us. Mitch writes down Theresa's new favorite phrase,
Poolgate.
poolgate, since he felt blindsided by the pool convo.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like out of all the things he could write down, poolgate would be the last thing he would write
You
down.
know, it's funny because Kristen is like, you know what? That actually has a different meaning for me because if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have gotten what I have from you. I wouldn't have gotten your true feelings about how you feel about me and that you are attracted to me.
I don't-
So as bad as it was, she's like, it spiked another level of conversation that we had to have.
Yeah, she liked that it brought about affirmations from him. I don't believe those affirmations. I don't believe he became attracted to her just because everyone yelled at him at the pool.
No, I think this is the thing. I think he maybe wasn't attracted to her at the wedding and the first couple of days of the honeymoon. But I think once they started vibing, he was attracted to her. He became attracted to her.
He was telling her sister hours before the pool party, hey, can we get her to take some makeup off and
but
let her
it's
hair
not
down?
that he's not attracted. He was saying, and it's really bad. He should not be saying that. I'm not taking his side, but I'm saying he just says, I like her more natural. He didn't say, oh, I'm not attracted to her with makeup on. He did not say that.
This is where I say, I think Mitch is putting on his best face for the cameras because I don't think he did a 180 because everyone ganged up on him at the pool. I think he was in the car going to this retreat going, I better say a couple nice things or this is going to be uncomfortable for everyone. And so he just gave her the affirmation she was looking for. And Kristen is so quick to forgive that they're better now. But I don't know if it's true.
I think it's true. I just think that he has a hard time expressing himself. I feel like he's very specific. He says things without thinking. So when he talked to her sister, it was bad. He shouldn't have. He could have talked to her and just say, hey, like when you don't wear makeup, you're beautiful, but you're beautiful regardless, right? It's just like he's so in his ways with the environmentalism and with this that he's like, oh, nature, natural, that he says things without realizing how it sounds. But I think he is attracted to her. I think he has been attracted to her.
Okay.
He just wasn't vocalizing it. And instead he was like, oh, I'm more attracted to her when she doesn't wear makeup.
Okay. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the main event over here. Let's talk about Lindy and Miguel.
Ugh.
I still don't understand why people think carriage rides are romantic.
They're bad.
I would feel bad for the horses.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
It smells terrible.
At least the carriage ride that we witnessed, I would hope that the horses, after they're done doing this, they go and they run freely somewhere in California
would
having
hope.
fun.
Better than the streets of New York City.
Yeah, that's
dodging
horrible. That should
cabs.
be banned. That's just really bad.
But still, this is not romantic.
No.
I'm sorry. I don't think
Why
it's,
don't you ride the horse?
That's probably better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love riding horses.
Yeah, I like riding a horse.
I love riding a mule.
They're just free to roam.
Yeah, my mule.
Yeah, I don't need some
Snacking.
guys sitting up front
Yeah.
eavesdropping on our
Yeah,
conversation.
I let my mule do whatever the mule wanted to do.
Yeah, you were terrible. Mule.
Well, he stopped. He wanted to snack.
Yeah.
I let him snack.
You guys could bond over that need to snack.
That's very true.
Yeah. All right. Miguel has a poem, but it was more of a
Ah.
rap, and I didn't write it down. I wish I should have clipped it and played
Well,
it back, but
They played music.
it was probably much better with the beat.
Yeah.
But it was awkward.
It was so awkward because he was trying to do this romantic thing. Oh, the carriage ride. Oh, I'm gonna rap or recite a poem for you. And in the meantime, it's like, oh, look at the dog.
Oh, look, a bunny.
Thanks for sharing. Oh, look, there is a bunny.
Oh, I love when you share your poetry. Did you see the bunny?
And yeah, sure, share the other one.
Well, it's better with a beat. You need a beat. It's better with you like that bunny on Bee Rabbit. You need the beat. You need the beat.
I mean, I would be annoyed too. You would be annoyed too if you're trying to do something for me and I would be this distracted. Yes,
this is the only part of this episode where I am 100% against Lindy.
Yeah.
Because this is bad. This would irritate me so much. Mm-hmm. It's the easiest thing just to sit with your mouth shut.
Yeah.
And listen to poor Miguel spit his bars.
Yes.
But the fact that he's literally in the middle of a poem or talking about his passion, Dungeons and Dragons, and Lindy is just like, oh, look they're on their cell phone.
Literally, like, so after this, he's like bothered and he tells the cameras, he's like, you know what? Deep breath. She keeps interrupting me. Let's just sit down and chat. So they did sit down. And Lindy's like, so is this like something like Dungeons and Dragons? And he's like,
yeah.
Like he
lit
up and starts talking about it. And then she gets distracted again after she asked the question.
Right.
And this is where he just loses it.
And Lindy blames it on her personality. And Miguel's like, well, what's your personality, to cut people off? And what infuriated me, because we all do it. Okay, we all get distracted.
Yeah.
We all look at our phone when someone's saying something or see something, and we get distracted. It's human nature. But we would never defend it. Lindy's like, I think it's okay to cut people off if I see a bunny, like, or if it's hot out. I'm like, what? If it's over 75 degrees, you're allowed to just cut people off because it's hot out. You want to make a comment on the weather? Like,
yeah.
I was getting enraged listening to this conversation because, again, it's fine. We all get distracted. But say oh, I'm sorry. I can't believe I did that. Don't go and defend it, because now it basically is becoming your personality.
Yes. And she's like, she keeps blaming it on the learning process. Like, oh, I don't know you yet. We're getting to know each other. I don't know your triggers. It's like, dude, this would be everyone's trigger. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. She
starts to cry. She gets up and she walks away. Miguel goes after her. His response was kind of dismissive. This is where I go, like, Miguel wants to pretend like he's Mr. Romantic and knows all the right things to say. But his response was basically, I'm sorry I made you cry. Like,
because he's annoying. It's like kissing a child.
I know, but it's still, he was at fault in some instances this episode too.
That's what I said before. They both did something wrong.
Yeah.
And so they both she kept apologizing. Then he kept apologizing. Then she did something wrong and cried. And he went after her. It's like they both fucked up multiple times.
I think, and I don't know, but Lindy's been threatening, wait till we have a blow up. Wait till you see me go crazy. She's conditioned him, I think, to expect that all these little things are these big blow ups. If she didn't put it into the air, he might just be like, oh, she's in a funk. She's having a bad day. But she's conditioned Miguel to think, oh, she's always blowing up. And so now that's how he sees her, as this woman who's always blowing up.
Yeah, she definitely, what's the word? Like, stopped herself in the bag in a way.
She painted herself into a corner a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I'll say is, hey, experts, I think the baby was a little premature. I think they have enough issues.
Oh, yeah.
Already.
Oh, yeah.
Don't need a baby.
So then I don't know what they're doing, but the guys are hanging out, the girls are hanging out, but there's no Miguel and Lindy.
Yeah, like something's up. I think.
Yeah, everyone's guys are like, yes, something's going on. Like, where are they?
Yeah. And it's interesting that I guess there was already signs of trouble, but they immediately go to, something must be up. Not like, maybe they're banging. You know, it went to a bad place, but they know that there's some tension there. Finally, Miguel and Lindy do arrive. Yeah,
and Miguel is just kind of sharing what happened with the guys, and Lindy disappears somewhere. Yeah. But meanwhile, the ladies, Kristen, Alexis, and Stasha are having some convo while cooking, and that's when Alexis kind of says that, they had sex and it was awkward.
Yes.
And then she's like, can I ask you guys, like, if you were with someone in a good relationship, but the sex was bad, what do you do? And this is literally her saying, it was bad.
I thought she at first said, would you say? Like, if your husband wasn't meeting your needs, would you say it? It's not what she said. She said, if your husband wasn't meeting your needs, would you stay?
Yes, that's what she said.
And the girls are like, yeah, sex isn't everything, right? And poor Justin, I mean, the guy's probably a little rusty. He hasn't banged it out in a year and a half, and I'm sure stamina wasn't there. She said, he'll get there. But now Alexis is putting it on blast on TV. And so, yeah, clearly she's not happy.
Yes, and then Kristen's like, yeah, we don't bang, but, it's been too many ups and downs. And
not
kind of talking about
right
decision day. And Kristen is like, let's have a dialogue. Well,
what?
Dialogue.
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said dialogue.
Oh, this is a chick way to say this. Let's have a dialogue while she's actually having a monologue. And she's like, well, if Kristen wants to say, the wife Kristen wants to say yes on decision day, right? Mm-hmm. But the woman wants to say no because Mitch is such an asshole and he's said so many things that are just so wrong to say to a woman.
That independent woman wants to say no. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
It will be. I'm very excited about decision day because I think we said that they're not going to make it. And I said it because of Mitch being that extreme, which I think is going to be part of it. But I didn't realize that on top of that, he's going to just be so extra. But in the meantime, I still think they could make it work. I somehow think they could.
Okay. We'll see. Let's just talk about it here. If you guys weren't sweating already, it's time to talk about the pleasure panties during the group dinner that Stasha brought with her. I mean, this is some perverted trust exercise. Mm-hmm. She's putting on the pleasure panties. She's giving Nate the remote. Mm-hmm. And this thing sounded like a propeller plane was about to take off.
I'm pretty sure it was in a movie. I can't think of the movie now. But it's like I've seen this.
There was
like American Pie or something silly like that.
There was Wedding Crashers where he's getting like a handy at the dinner table. But I'm with you. I think there was something where the remote control. Mm-hmm. I know. Someone will know.
Oh my gosh. It's like,
Call in. But yeah, this is just like, what do we do? Like, sex positive, sex schmositive, whatever. That's fine. Do what you want. But when did Married at First Sight become this?
And it's so loud.
That's what I'm saying.
I really think, and I don't know when we're gonna see this, where we saw some previews where Nate is telling her, I don't love you. And I'm telling you, they may be the power couple and have a tattoo and all that, but there is something missing
Oh, yeah.
in their connection. But
Yes.
they fill it with sex because they're attracted to each other.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good insight. Let's talk about Lindy and Miguel again for a second here, because it's time for another photo. But Lindy learned her lesson. She's not going to ask Miguel this time because that pissed him off. So she asks a crew member to take it, and that pisses Miguel off.
Well, did you see who was shooting this? Because the whole crew is in the scene taking photo of the sunset.
Yeah. There's a lot of people on the crew.
Yeah. But yeah, Miguel's like, I wouldn't mind to take a photo. Again, why don't you take a photo with your husband? That's my main question.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if you two don't work out, right? Are you really gonna be going back looking at this photo of yourself? Like, look at this beautiful sunset, knowing that, that's the place, that was the house, that's where we did all the
Come on.
fighting.
She's got an entire TV show filmed about this. I think she probably does want some photos of just her in case things go south.
Well, okay, but still, like, take a photo with your husband.
But again, I think the thing that upsets Miguel is how many photos she's taking. It's not who's taking the photos, it's that she's taking photos. Enough is enough. It comes across as self-absorbed, I think, or it comes across as doing it for the gram. You're not in the moment. You're so worried about the photo. That, I think, is what is upsetting Miguel. It's not that, the crew member took it, or, you're asking me to take it. It's just, how about you stop taking photos and hang out with me for a second?
Yeah, that's true. And then gaslighting. Lindy's gonna lose her shit. And it's just back and forth. And she cries
Yeah.
and storms off. She's like, I just need to be alone.
Yeah, the producer's like, all right, you don't have to go down.
And this is
to
what
the
I'm
dinner.
saying. Like, she storms off, and guess what? Like, Miguel follows her back to the room. And that's what they've been doing this whole
That's
time.
good.
It is good, but I'm saying is like, once there's something that I want to apologize, and she cries, leaves, he follows her, apologizes. Then
It's
she
because
does
they're not
something like,
solving the root issue.
Yeah.
They're putting a Band-Aid on it. Every time they go and run into the bathroom or run over to the horse carriage, they're putting a Band-Aid on the situation, but they're not healing it. And so that's why it keeps happening. They need to actually once and for all just solve the problem.
yes, but I don't think you can solve her personality. That's the thing.
No, you have to learn to either accept it or not accept it.
I just really think she screwed herself over with keep saying how crazy she is, because
I know.
now
That's what I'm
anything
saying.
she does is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
Miguel's like, oh my gosh, like this the crazy? Because that's a little crazy.
Right.
She didn't say that. He would just be like, oh, she's having a moment.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone else is at dinner. Lindy and Miguel kind of sit this one out. And Kristen is talking about what she's learned, and she said it's fun being out here, and Mitch is trying to get all romantic and asking for a kiss now. And he's like, yeah, there's no more questioning. I'm attracted to my wife. I'm like,
Well,
"Yeah."
Alex has asked him, so.
Yeah. I just think no one changes this quick.
But again, he's been attracted to her. He just didn't verbalize it.
All of a sudden, here, what is that, a drone? Is this a drone shot? What's going on? Is there a mosquito problem around? What? Zzz.
It's so loud.
It's so, I have to imagine they turn this up in post.
Yeah.
There's no way this could be that loud. Like, what is it?
True, but you can hear, like, if your phone vibrates in your pocket, you hear it.
True. So Nate is just hitting those pleasure panties. And Stasha looks like she's cramping, like she has gas or something, right? Right? And then you just hear more and more vibrating, and Alexis just immediately knows. She's like, does someone have vibrating panties on or something? Like, she's no stranger to those vibrating panties. And Stasha just runs away. Nate chases after her, and he's like, sorry, I didn't know how to turn it off.
Oh, sure.
You knew how to turn it on, though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I want to know what movie is this from.
Colin. Definitely Wedding Crashers was similar. It wasn't the...
Yeah, but not the whole thing.
It wasn't the vibrating panties, but something similar. Colin, let us know. So then dinner finishes. Everyone meets back up with Lindy and Miguel. Miguel puts the blame on himself, and he apologizes in front of everyone to Lindy
Yeah, he was saying that he came into this weekend being very tired and not in the best mood, and then everything just hit him, and then he get interrupted again.
Oh boy.
But not by Lindy.
Not by Lindy.
By Mitch the Bitch.
AKA
Kristen.
This was uncomfortable for me. She's not a good impressionist.
No.
And she's not a good crossdresser. So everything for me was a little off.
Yes, but Mitch is loving it.
Yeah, it was the icebreaker that was needed in that moment. And Mitch was being a good sport. He was enjoying it.
And that's what I'm saying. She doesn't give a shit anymore. Even if he got mad, it's almost like she's trying to push his buttons and see, okay, he fucked up. He knows it. How far can I go now for him to stay cool because he fucked up?
It'd be funny if he was like, this is exactly what I was talking about with how I wanted you to dress. More like this. Yes,
But yeah, she's wearing this shirt and
Where's that
everyone's like,
sex
oh my
ming?
gosh.
I know, that shirt didn't go to waste.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun, but made me squirm a little bit. When people are going like too hard,
Yeah.
I'm like, you're going a little too hard right now.
Yeah.
But Mitch was a good sport. He liked it.
If I was doing an impression of you, I would just dance.
And I'd be like, cool, it was funny the first 5 seconds. But then if you kept doing it, I'd be like, cool, we
But
got it.
that's
The joke's
it's like,
over.
I wouldn't find it funny, like to dress up and do that whole thing. Like I would just do your little move.
Okay.
That's it.
There's nothing funny about it.
That is not. That's why I don't find it funny.
Right.
But I'm saying if I had to like do you
Okay.
outside of our bedroom.
Hello.
That's what I would do.
Hello, folks. All right, let's get to the next morning, a little pregame breakfast. And Lindy has questionable headwear choices. We've seen the ski hat. We've seen the ski hat in the middle of California. And now we're seeing like a wolf's head she's wearing.
Well, I almost feel like, is this Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh, that
Because Miguel was wearing something similar.
That's very true. Looks better on her. But they're planning to play dodgeball.
I do not know what a dodgeball is.
It's just dodgeball.
Never seen it, never played it.
You saw it.
Well, I did, but I don't get it. Like you just hit each other with a ball.
There's teams. There's teams. There's multiple balls. If you catch the ball, the person who threw it is out. Mm-hmm. If it hits you, you're out.
Okay.
And
It's
then
very easy.
You could bounce the ball with your ball.
And do you
you're
only
fine.
have to like attack certain person who's in front of you, or can you
No,
attack
you can
anyone?
attack anyone. You can attack anyone. It's harder than it looks because
Yeah.
say it's 4-on-4, but everyone's like, we're gonna get Teresa this round. Then everyone just throws at you, and it's gonna be hard for you to dodge 4 balls. So it gets tricky. But they go and they play it.
Well, first they're teams and they're saying no husbands and wives.
Right.
So they split up and we have red team, we have blue team. We have red team, which is Lindy, Mitch, Alexis, and Nate. And then the blue team, that's Miguel, Kristen, Stasha, and Justin.
You're such a good note taker. I didn't think
Right?
any.
Right?
Here are my notes. They played dodgeball. Miguel is a sore loser.
Yes, and Lindy's loving it. I'm like, how do you know dodgeballs? Did your
That's probably all they
it
were
was
allowed
like
to
a
do.
Christian dodgeball team?
Yeah, that's probably all they were allowed
But
to
she's
do.
loving it. Mitch is, yes, a sore loser. And they're chatting
Miguel's a sore
afterwards.
loser.
Yes.
Not Mitch.
Yes, Miguel. They're chatting afterwards with their teams, right?
Well, here's the issue that Miguel had. Lindy wasn't cheering hard enough for him. Okay?
You're on a different team, dude.
But hey, where are your alliances? It's your husband, so you should cheer. But yeah, because Miguel was the last man standing on his team, and Lindy was not, I guess, rooting for him. And so he freaked out like a little baby.
Like a little baby.
Like, this whole episode was so high school, from prom to archery
To dodgeball.
dodgeball to Miguel's attitude. This whole thing was so high school, and this is where I go. Again, I'm back to Team Lindy. I'm 3 out of 4 times Team Lindy this episode.
I'm like half and half.
Okay.
But then, so Miguel is sharing with his team and everyone's like understanding and like, yeah, having a conversation. Lindy's sharing with her team, losing her shit, crying, being emotional. The 3 of them, meaning Mitch, Alexis, and Nate, just ignore her.
No one cares. They're not even
Trying
looking,
to like,
not even looking at her.
trying, but not. And I'm like, oh, you're so dramatic.
This whole episode was all the couples having fun, and then Lindy and Miguel having the worst weekend of their life. Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's it.
That was it. That's the whole
okay,
episode.
this is episode 14.
Yeah.
I think there is one more, and then we'll do the D-Day because this is 8 days.
I'm going to say 2 more.
Really?
I'm going to go 16. I'm going to go 17. Yeah, you might be right.
What else can they do in a week?
You might be right. You might be.
I think.
You think the next episode is the one where it's like, all right, next time I see you, it's decision day.
I might be totally wrong.
You might not. No. You're you're either spot on or you're one episode off. We'll see.
But we're getting closer.
Getting very close. So thank you guys for listening. Another wild episode.
I can't wait for Decision Day. I'm very curious.
I'm less curious about Decision Day, more curious about 6 months after Decision Day. For a lot of these
love
couples.
the reunions. I love the reunions.
Yeah. So again, thank you guys for listening. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Follow us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Mm-hmm. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Married to Reality. There is no bad time to sign up for that anymore.
No bad time.
And thank you again for the reviews. If you haven't left one, please do. We love those reviews. And last but not least, if you guys have not already followed this podcast, you guys got to follow the podcast. That way you won't miss any episode, no matter when we drop it, no matter what we drop. As long as you're following the podcast, you'll get the episode directly to your device. It's so easy to do. You look down, you smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as the vibrating panties.
So hot. All right.
So hot.
That is it. I've said it all. Have you said it all?
Said it all.
You sure have. All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.